If I had to give you a one-sentence elevator pitch to sell you on Ryoji Minagawa's manga, Peacemaker, I would say Red Dead Redemption, but make an anime. After reading my way through this series, I was sincerely stunned when I pulled up my YouTube search and saw zero discussion about this work. It has just about everything possible going for it. A cast of characters capable of keeping the reader invested, a unique style with beautiful and detailed artwork, an element of mystery, even a damn tournament arc. By the way, I just gotta make a quick mention that the tournament is called GOD, standing for Guns of Domination. If there's a sicker name for a tournament, I haven't heard it yet. Peacemaker has all the ingredients to share the spotlight with some of manga's heaviest hitters, and yet it seems lost in obscurity, which really just serves to leave me in awe of just how vast the sea of manga really is, that a quality project like Peacemaker was able to go under the radar. My only goal today is to tell you, the viewer, why Peacemaker is worth your time and steal a few moments of your attention for a piece of art that is absolutely worthy of your focus. Peacemaker tells the story of Hope Emerson, the son of the legendary gunman Peace Emerson, who is one of the most talented individuals with a revolver that you would ever hope to come across. Hope lives in an era where duels are a popular sport, seeing men putting their lives on the line on a regular basis for the notoriety and riches that can be found at the other end of the smoking barrel. The narrative kicks off when Hope takes the life of a dangerous gunman named Hans Guile, also known as the Grim Reaper. Hope takes out Hans with a special family technique known as the burst shot, where the user lets out a flurry of blindingly fast shots from their revolver all aimed at the same spot, with this technique being just about the only thing that allowed Hope to penetrate through Hans's bulletproof vest he wore during their duel. Hans was the member of a group of mercenaries called the Crimson Executioners, whose reputation is known and feared across the land. Peacemaker details the adventures of Hope after he comes into contact with a mysterious young girl named Nicola, who was told to seek him out by her mother as her dying wish. Nicola and their party, including the quick-witted Kyle, the rival gunman Beat, and the wealthy aristocrat with the heart of gold Mixie, as they race to uncover the truth behind what secrets that Nicola may be harboring and surviving the relentless attacks of the Crimson Executioners. Going into Peacemaker, I had zero expectations and expected pretty much your average seinen shonen fare of wacky hijinks, mediocre gun battles, and a paper-thin plot to tie it all together. Peacemaker is much more than this, and the ride is one that I'm certainly glad I came aboard. The differences in the story of Peacemaker compared to many other cliche manga came almost immediately, with the introduction of the story's hero, Hope Emerson. We have seen the trope of the reluctant fighter who is secretly a badass and has a code not to kill others nearly 100 times over at this point. Peace subverts this almost immediately though, as he is very quick to express to those around him that he is certainly not one for wanton murder and will prefer to settle things amicably if he can, but he sees the gun he inherited from his father as a tool to mete out justice to devils who no longer deserve the gift of life. He has no qualms killing if it means protecting innocent individuals from those that would do them harm. This immediately ingratiated me to Hope. It made me want to learn more about his background due to his philosophy carrying with it a level of nuance that we do not always get to see from manga and anime protagonists. Hope is an individual that is very in touch with the world he lives in. He understands that there are bad men in the world, evil men that would not hesitate to do great harm to those unfortunate enough to come across them for no better reason other than that it's convenient and they can. Even in the very beginnings of the story, we are given hints that there is more to Hope than meets the eye, and that he is likely the victim of some sort of trauma. Learning more about whom Hope is, how his worldview came to be the way that it is, and seeing his philosophies challenged by the other characters that he encounters is one of the most captivating aspects of Peacemaker. And you cannot talk about Hope's place in the narrative without mentioning the breathtaking art and battle choreography laden through Peacemaker as well. Printing an action scene in manga is a talent that seems to go severely underappreciated by its readers. I think so many of us have been spoiled by individuals who are absolute masters of the medium, such as the late Miura-san, that it's easy to forget just how difficult it can be to make an easily readable conflict that naturally flows from across the page in a manga. After recently reading some manga where this was not the case, returning to Peacemaker and seeing Minagawa's penmanship made me all the more appreciative. In each duel or gun battle present in the manga, there is an easily definable start point, flow, and into the scenario, and Minagawa's ability to direct the flow of the viewer's eye and make the scene feel as though it is playing out like a movie in one's head is sincere artistic talent. Couple this with the attention paid to the anatomy and the posing of the characters to accurately portray the different shooting styles and the beautiful ornamentation pinned on the weapons. It's an absolute feast for the eyes and left me wondering on many occasions how long some of these panels took to draw. There's also such detail paid to maintaining the authenticity of the Western setting that it's difficult to not be immersed. There were panels I read where I could just smell the dirt in the air and feel the breeze on the back of my neck as a tumbleweed bounced lazily through the empty street. It's a Western through and through, and just enough manga over the topness thrown in to keep you interested and leaving you asking what's going to happen next. The plot also becomes substantially more interesting as the manga progresses, with characters' motivations changing and the stakes rising much higher than in the beginning of the story for both the protagonists and villains alike. Seeing what each character wants for themselves develop as the narrative unfolds is satisfying, and I was happy to see the manga evolve from the Monster of the Week formula with the Crimson Executioners that I was worried it would devolve into. One thing I also wanted to note regarding Peacemaker is its respectful presentation of women. I didn't pick up on it till much later in the story, but Peacemaker treats its female characters with much more respect and autonomy than in most manga. Female characters introduced to the story are never just tools for fan service or used to make the men in the story look better or more powerful, and it was refreshing to see the series not fall back on tired cliches and objectification to get a cheap laugh out of the viewer. There's just so much good to be said about this manga. It'd be hard to cover everything, but at the very least, I hope this video was enough to put this series on your radar and give you something to think about the next time you're in need of a manga recommendation that is more of a hidden gem. Thank you, cowboys and cowgirls, for your time. Now saddle up, get on your horse, and go read some Peacemaker.